guys. So I've not been doing many videos lately. Just had a bad few days, probably a bad week. With the results coming and then everything, and I just want to say that, like, for me personally, like, having a few days away, you know, getting everything sorted, getting my head in the game ready, but it's getting harder and harder, like, every day. I'm getting better on my feet, don't get me wrong, like, I am getting better and I'm proud of myself for it. Like, the other day I went for a meal at the Toby Carvery, and I used my crutches instead of being in my chair, and that was simple enough. I am going to be doing a video soon on personality disorder. I'm still in the middle of coming up what to say and what to do. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about depression, because it's an easy subject for me. Depression's hard. You got loads of different depression, like different parts of depression, and so many things with the disorder itself. So with me, it's pretty hard not to go out without a bad patch in a day. I feel a bit low. Like, at the minute I feel totally low, because I can't really do anything. Like, everything's a mess. Having arguments all the time, and this needs to be sorted. I want to look prettier. I want to look, you know, like all that. My hair's a mess because I've decided not to brush it after being in the bath. But like, anxiety and depression are so linked, like this. If you have depression, you'll generally have some form of anxiety. If you have some form of anxiety, if you have anxiety, you'll generally have some form of depression. Waste tips for depression, if you're suffering from depression and you're craving things like drugs, drink, you know, stuff like that. Don't. It's not advisable. Like, depression's not my strong point per se. It is a big part of my life and everything, and I've let it rule it with drinks, and I've let it rule it with drugs, and I was a functioning alcoholic, and I got help. Well, I didn't get help. I went to my parents and said, I need help, and they helped me stay off the drink for a while, and I can drink now, and I can drink a hell of a lot. But I can drink now and have a laugh and not be nervous to know, because the people around me, if I've had too much to drink, they say I've had too much to drink. If I've had too much to drink, you know, because I'm generally slummed in a corner, which generally happens after spending about 150 quid. When it comes to things like that, though, it does get harder and harder and harder to do things like going out, having a social life. I think the only social life I really have at the moment is doing this vlog. Because I can't really get out much, can't really do anything. Like, I sit in my pajamas, like, I'm on my own all week, and sort of scared to be on my own because of, like, falling and stuff like that. But I've got people on standby if I do. So always know that there's support. Everything's gonna be repeated, and this is gonna sound like absolute gobbledygook. It's the right word I'm thinking of. And it's only because you've got to go. Like, a lot of things do this with each other, and yeah, it's one of those things. Sorry guys, I've ended up with a really weird rash on my leg, so if you see me doing this, it's because I've got itchy legs. Um, but yeah, so depression's a big thing, and it happens with people. It's happened for me from the age of about 13. I'm now it's 9 years. It's nearly 10, and it can come and go, like in patches where I can go really 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 well, really really high, and then 2 days later I'll be down. I'll be at the centre of the earth because of the sheer fact of just the way my head works. I've got little things most people don't know about me, and I'm never really open about these things. Oh, depression that I am quite open about, because people need to know these things, especially with my anxiety. If I have an anxiety attack and you don't know about it, you're like, oh, she's a bit weird. Like grabbing a teddy bear out of a bag. But we, like, everyone, like, in the whole world, somebody will. Somebody will have depression in the whole world. Somebody, at least in 1 out of 10 people, I think it's something like that, will have depression. And don't quote me on that, but it generally is. Like, most of my friends suffer from depression. Some of my family suffer from depression as well. So, and then I do as well. So, no, first hand. I can't speak today. I want to talk some shit today, like. But basically, what depression is just you're low feeling, like it's a little bit deeper than being sad. People think, ah, she's depressed, she's only sad, and it's not like that, because there's a lot more going to it, and the worse your depression is, it's the worse you're gonna be, and it's like a big dark cloud above your head. And for people who don't have depression and don't really know what it is, it could be a who. So for people who don't really know, it's like a big black cloud over your head. You know, like in the cartoons, big black cloud over your head. You know, stuff like that. But for me, it's something that eats away at me. So it's inside my head, and for me it's like somebody's putting pressure on my head all the time, and as they put pressure on my head, sorry, I got a text message and it comes up the top of my screen. Harrison, you're a dick. Because I get distracted easily. But basically, for me, it eats away, and as people put pressure, well, not people, but my head puts pressure on itself. I hear voices, and I will openly and be honest, yes, I sound like a psycho and everything, but some people will understand that there is voices in your head. And I have those voices I say all the time, but most of the time, like 90% of the time I hear voices. Whether it's into the really dark stuff or just saying you're worthless. And nobody's worthless, but yes, you still feel like that. Nobody's worthless, you're not worthless, you're not stupid, you're not a slag, you know, things like that. Or if you hear it in your head, it's all in your head. Whether people think it or not, don't give a shit, because it's a part of you, yes, and it's what you've heard and everything, and I understand personally, and there'll be days where I like today, I am completely fine, I am completely awesome today, and then 2 days later I'll be like, I don't want to do this, I want to give up. You know, it'll be that thing, and I look like an idiot doing that, but so basically, like, for depression, it's like a big dark cloud on your head, like something weighing on your shoulders, like again, like 1,000 men on you, and you're like trying to lift up, and then you collapse, and you're like, well, I could have done better, and things like that, and it comes along the lines of worse things, like darker things as well, feeling useless, harming yourself. I will do a video about self-harm, but I will touch upon it now. Self-harm is a release, yes. Should you do it? No. I have scars all over my body from burns. I've had loads of different things happen to me throughout life, and I have scars everywhere. And it's not worth having scars for life, because sometimes you can't hide them. Trust me, if I could hide my scars, I would. I would, because my legs are ruined. And I would show you my legs. Like, show you and share them with you. But they're hairy, so I'm not going to. Because I can barely, like, bend over to do my legs now, because I can barely stand. So, basically with depression, if you with self-harm, yes, it's a release, yes, it's what you need to do to release it, but it's a recurring thing. It becomes a habit. Habits aren't a great thing to have. Like drinking your feelings away, smoking your feelings away, getting high to forget about them. Self-harm's alongside of that. Self-harm is an addiction. Yes, I know, it probably sounds stupid, and I've done it and everything. Because I've done it, I know it's an addiction. And to be honest, it's not worth having those scars. It's not worth having that there. I have my nieces come up to us and they ask what scars are, and I ask that on your leg, and it's scars. I'm trying to save up the money, but tattoos are expensive, to cover myself in tattoos to get rid of my scars, because it's not worth it anymore. Try a different pain. If you like tattoos, get a tattoo instead of self-harming, because I know it's hard and I know self-harming's free, but just do it. Just go out and get a tattoo, get a hobby. My addiction was teddy bears, and I now have to move in to a new flat or a new house with about 1,000 teddy bears. Well, I wouldn't say 1,000, like 200 teddy bears, and figure out where I'm going to put them. Scars. You can have 1,000 scars and you can try and cover them up, but they're still there. You know they're still there, and it's a constant reminder of what you've done and why you did it for. And it sounds like I'm having a go, and I'm supposed to advise you and stuff like that. It sounds like I'm having a go, but basically, that's me touch on self-harm. Please don't do it. And if you are self-harming or anything, give me a message and I will tell you coping mechanisms, drawing, getting your feelings down on paper, things like that. I'll touch on coping mechanisms in a minute, but the messages, because I've done it before, and I'll like, it's a recurring thing, and I could do it again, but I'm trying my hardest not to, because of the sheer fact of the support and everything around us and how far I've gone. Yes, I've had a bad couple of days and everything, but like, don't let it get to you as much, because it's just a horrible thing to think. Like, sometimes I can't go and shave my legs and bath because I have those recurrent thoughts. Because I have, if I sneak a cigarette off someone, like have a couple off on a cigarette, then yeah, like, I have those thoughts. So I generally don't, like, if I'm gonna, like, I know this sounds rotten, but if I'm in the bath, because I live in I live with this just me and Harry, and literally I'll have the bathroom door open if I'm having a bad day and I'm having a bath, because if I'm having a bad day and I couldn't get, like, I think it was last week, I couldn't physically get into the bath. I couldn't get my legs over the bathtub, and it was really hard, and I cried in the bath, and that took its toll last week after everything that was happening and all my results day and stuff like that. And it, needless to say, it's really hard because I want to do the simplest tasks, and I can't, like, in the past week or so, because I started the blog like last week, I think. So, or the week before, I really cannot remember. But I started the blog like a couple of weeks ago, and it's not really done much with it apart from post a couple of videos here, post a couple of videos there. But you've got to, like, I'm trying to think of words to say, because, like, I do not pre-write these things down, which I really should about most things and everything. But, like, personal things like depression and anxiety, I do have a split personality, so I can touch into personality disorders. Self-harming is going to be another video, and not to do it, and if you do it, basically I'm going to do it too. So, but these don't get like pre-wrote out or anything. There's no script, there's no bullet points, there's nothing planned, and I don't like it because I like plan. So basically, when it comes to depression and everything, firsthand, I know most of it. Like I said, I've started from about 13 going through depression and going through everything, going through changes. I had a girlfriend for a while. I've had a few, and now a boyfriend, and I've had a few boyfriends as well. So I'm personally say that I'm bisexual. More than like going up to straight, but that's because I enjoy being treated like a princess. I enjoy being treated like a princess too much to, like, be somebody's prince in a sense, which I have been in the past, because in a female relationship I always wear the pants. But basically, like, I've went through being beat up all the time. Getting into fights was a main one, but that was basically, it was a hard time because I was going through drinking, trying drugs. I was working. I had all that stress, and I had a girlfriend that I was going to get married to at the time. Then up until, like, well, that was about, from about 17, that was all the stresses then. Up until 17, there was a lot of things. I was abused. I go forward and say that I was sexually assaulted. And that's caused a lot of depression for me, because, and a lot of sadness and wanting to kill myself and everything. Losing people as well can cause a lot. Some people say, yeah, you're grieving and it'll just be alongside that, but you'll be happy in a few weeks. Where if you suffer from depression yourself, it's a lot worse. So I've went through all this, and I can be open and honest with you and post it out there, because if you give me shit, if somebody gives me shit, I will not give a fuck, because I'm telling you my story, and I'm telling you what I think and what I've been through. And if people give me shit because of it, so be it. I'm not opening up to you to call us anything, but you will get blocked and reported. And if it's people that I know, which I very much doubt it, I'll probably get told off for swearing, to be honest. Sorry, family, love you so much. See, hot. But there's a lot of things I've kept hidden from family and friends and everything. Like, the people I'm closest to don't know much about us. well, they know enough about us to be my friend, be my best pal, you know, things like that. But I don't sit down and tell them, unless I'm having a really bad day and I just want to sit and cry. So, bottle of wine and cry, which isn't advisable, but it's the best thing to do as a woman. Best fucking thing to do. I wouldn't advise when you're down and you're depressed to go on vodka because it's awful. I'm literally there with red flags going like this whenever someone says they're sad and says, do you want to go for a drink? Because I know that means vodka shots. Trust me, I've done it before. So, going through a lot and going through depression, I've come up with some coping mechanisms, and I've been through counselling, so I get a couple from there as well. If you're holding on to something, something's making you low. For me, it was being sexually assaulted and abused. And I let go. It comes back and bites me in the ass sometimes. And hits me in the face because I can't handle men talking to me. I can handle men talking to me when they shout. I either turn into She-Hulk or I turn into a bubbling mess. There's no me in the middle of this when someone shouts at me. So the She-Hulk is me taking reign, like taking a hold of myself and be like, nah, I'm not taking this. Then the blubber mess me just literally collapses and cries. And basically just being like, no. You never want to meet She-Hulk, like never. If I ever do a rage and like, if I ever rage on here to you guys, I'm so sorry. So basically, going through a lot with it. So what we did at counselling, we got some helium balloons, and you write down your worries, or you write down what you're letting go. What you're letting go. So I let go the person that did this to me, and I wrote down things like all the grief, all the names, all the abuse, all the people that were involved in my life that I didn't want to, all the things I did not want. It was like scrumpling up in a ball and throwing it in the bin. But if you scrumple it up and throw it in the bin, you can pick it out of the bin. So, where balloons, you let go. And you let go of it and it floats away. And that's the best thing in the world. And I even wrote my name down on the bit of paper. You don't have to, but I did. And I wrote down my name, and I wrote down my name, and I wrote down why I did it, like what this was all about. And I wrote it down. So somebody probably seen it, like. But that was a coping mechanism for that. When you're depressed, best thing is a cuddle or cuddling something. So teddy bears are a big plus for me because I can sit and snuggle and sit and be nice. Snuggles with someone is so much better because they can kiss you on your head and tell you it's going to be okay, even though in your head you do not believe it. Drawing, singing, doing anything that makes you happy is a simple thing. When you're trying to get through a day, stick your headphones in. I fell in love with Cruella, and she did an acoustic version. They did an acoustic version of their song, called Alive. And listen to the original and listen to the acoustic because it's really good. And they also did a song called Human, and that's a really good song as well. And I listen to a lot at the minute because it's just so nice to have something in your head that's not Baby Shark. Yes, I'm so sorry for people that I've just put that in their head because it's now in my head. So coping mechanisms like that, trying to go out and be social with your friends is also good because it helps you just sort of distract yourself for a while. Do not go drinking, do not go taking drugs. Right, go out with your friends. I generally go to Geek Retreat in town, in Newcastle, in town. Like people that, yeah. Today is so Geek Retreat in Newcastle. if you're into all the nerd stuff, there's one Newcastle, Glasgow, and I think Birmingham, but don't quote me on Birmingham. Or go to your local cafe with a couple of mates, or even, yeah, go to the bar, but don't go drinking, go to a pool bar. Go sit with your mates, go play darts. Darts is good to get your anger out. Don't aim it at people though, because I wouldn't advise it. Snuggling with animals. Animals are a great thing for depression. Right? I have, like, in my other videos, I've got the bunny, but he's in the bedroom, and he is amazing. He does not give snuggles very often, but when you're sitting there and you put he puts his head in your hand and you snuggle in, like, he snuggles into your hands. It's the best feeling in the world. Dogs are amazing. Cats are also good as well. Dogs are amazing because they sense when you're upset. They sense when you're upset. They sense when you're in pain. Animals, all animals do it. When I get stressed, or when Harry gets stressed, well, Harrison gets stressed, he kicks off. He doesn't like the atmosphere, and he kicks off. And he stomps his feet, and he's like, no! Or if we argue or anything like that, you know what I mean? It just happens. Like, dogs are the same. They're also traitors. Yeah, they're also traitors at times. Especially if you know they love you and they go to someone else. Yeah, total traitors. But they're a big plus with it. I'm trying to think of what I've said because I've been talking for like 20 minutes now. So, what I advise as well is just be you. It's going to be in all my videos. Be yourself. Be who you want. Don't give a fuck. It's going to be in all my hashtags on Laurel_millions on Instagram. And the reason why it's Laurel, because obviously my name's Laura. Laurel or Laurel. I always say Laurel. People say Laurel. Some people say Laurel. So it's Laura potentially, but instead of an A, it's an AL. _millions. And it's generally hashtag be yourself, hashtag don't care, hashtag be yourself. It's all these hashtags, hashtag, all that crap. But, like, be yourself. Like, if depression is getting too much, you've got to seek help. Because otherwise, you're just gonna fall into a pattern of self-harming, drinking, drugs. If you're suffering without all that, fucking brilliant, but not so brilliant at the same time. But if you're suffering or if you're feeling low, go seek help. There's like talking therapy. Go to your doctor and basically say, I don't know what to do. If you can't help us, then fine. But I need some form of secureness there because I don't know what to do. Go to someone that you know that's got depression that can sort of cope. Come to me. Everything. Because depression is a bitch and it always will be. But at the same time, there's coping mechanisms out there instead of just suffering. Because if you just suffer in silence, you're gonna be a boring fuck. Because I'm completely mental, right? I'm mentally up here, gone. Completely mentally gone. Like, up here is, like, my little person sometimes in my head screams, what are you doing? Because I casually just do what I want now. And it's harder. Depression gets harder and harder. And trying to figure out the right words to say and the wrong words to say, and I've swore a lot today. Basically, if you don't give a fuck, you might hurt yourself. But at the same time, you've got to watch out for yourself and keep yourself sort of happy. Yes, happy. Sometimes it's hard to, if you're grieving, like, especially if you're grieving over someone. Over the Christmas, I had one of my really good friends kill himself in front of me. And I know it's hard. It's a hard thing to talk about. He was one of my really good friends, and he killed himself in front of me. I was going through a lot, and personally, I did go to jump off a bridge. I know, cliche, go jump off a bridge, cliche, but like I got halfway there and I thought, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? Because yes, it's hard. Yes, it can get harder, but don't, if you're suffering yourself, like with me, I've just been through a funeral, having a fight on my friend's funeral day because someone disrespected me and disrespected my friend. And I went, She-Hulk came out. She came out, and it was like, whoo, no, never again. It took like 5 bouncers to get me off this person because I literally, no. Little tip, if you're ever gonna fight, don't advise it, but if you're ever gonna fight, let them hit you first. And don't overkill. And never kill some people, even though you think it'll appear. Don't do it. But I thought, what the fuck am I doing? Because I've just been through, going through my friend's death, going through his mum dying as well. It literally within a week of each other. And I'm gonna end up crying. And seeing what I've just been through of my friend leaving me and stuff like that. I didn't want my family and my friends to go through the same thing, and people call it selfish, people call it a lot of things. If you can't cope, you can't cope. But at the same time, there's people out there that can help you. Because I went out and I went to a doctor and got help, and you're not gonna understand me because I'm getting all teary. I went out and got help and was with family, became close to people, started going out on the quad bike with my uncle and doing something with North East Bikers Against Bullies, and it's a big thing, North East Bikers Against Bullies. They were on the BBC recently for doing a prom, for escorting a lady, one of the young ladies for prom. Unfortunately, I can't do it anymore. That's why I started the blog, because one of the reasons why I started the blog, because I can't go on the quad bike until I have a diagnosis on my back, because it can potentially paralyse me. And if I go out on the quad the next day, I wouldn't walk. I wouldn't be able to walk, and then there's crutches and being in a chair, and I wouldn't be able to move off the quad, and on the quad would be really hard. And it was good going out and doing those things and going out and helping people. So that's what I want to do in life. I want to help people. And messy bun coming through. Basically, helping people is one of the main things. North East Bikers Against Bullies are the best for children as well. So they help children, and children that want to be bikers, and they go out and they do events and stuff like that, and I haven't been able to do it for a while, so I'm so jealous of you guys that go out and you do it every time. Grant, the leader, the guy who started it all off, he's amazing at what he does, and he has an amazing bike, by the way. But eventually I'll be getting back into that and seeing you again, Grant. Going through depression and stuff, especially going through schools, like if you're going through school or anything like that, I know it's now like July, so you'll be out of school, but like you've been through your exams and you're worried and things like that, or if you don't get the best grades, know that you've tried, because it's the worst thing. I went through college, dropping out of college, in college, out of college, in college. Basically, it's a stressful time, but you don't need to really stress about it, because of the sheer fact of you will get there in the end with support. Everything that I know, anxiety and depression, are best with support, because if you have no one, then you've just got this. This is shit. This is completely and completely telling you lies half the time. If you do hear voices, you'll understand. But the mind itself is a shit thing to think. And if you're on your own and you're sitting there and you're like, right, I've got bills to pay. Have I got enough money in the bank? Can I really afford it? Like, you know what I said to the girls that go out this weekend? You know, things like that. And then you would start thinking in your own head, and you're thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, I am useless. I'm honestly just useless. I'm shit. But you know what? You're not. You're not. Right? You know how useless I feel, right? In the minute, because I feel like a baby trying to walk. I feel like a baby trying to walk. And yes, it's so hard. Like trying to, not learn how to walk, because I know how to walk. It's just my body won't let us. But like training myself to walk again and doing all the exercises and stuff like that is going to be really hard. That's the worst thing. Because I have my good days where I can walk around the flat. Because like literally I've got no crutches. So I can walk around the flat. If I fall, I'm going to fall on something soft. So at the same time, I don't like using them around the flat. But like literally, if you're going through school, you're getting bullied. If you're getting bullied, you go seek help. I know it's horrible, and I know, right? I got bullied for being gay. I got bullied in college for wanting to be a man at one point. Yes, I hold my hands up. I wanted to be a man for a while, and I am proud of it. A big part of my life being Sam and being who I wanted to be. And then I found out I can be a princess and be loved and be adored, and everything that I needed I've got. But there's still an empty hole there. I can't say you'll always have, but I have always had an empty hole, like a little part of my heart, a little empty hole that everything goes to. No matter how much you try and block it out, it's always there. But you have your good and your bad days. That's the main thing. You have good and bad days. So seek support if you need it. If you see someone struggling, you support them. I'm always going to say that. Support everyone. Well, you can't support everyone. They're not going to support you in times when you need it. You should really support them, but at the same time support who you want, because it makes you feel better. If they don't come to you, then you meant nothing to them. But what you've done is help them see a better light. Because I've been talking for like 40 minutes. I'm gonna like shoot and post, but I'll touch on some more bits. If there's bits that you need, I'll touch on some more. Jojo, I promise you a video soon for personality disorders. It's getting everything, because I have a split, so Jojo knows that I have a split and everything, but at the same time I'd rather have enough information there. I'll retouch on things. I will do a proper one of the story of my life and what I've been through eventually. Don't quote me on it, because eventually I'll get it done. But personally, at the minute, I think if you're seeking support, go get it. If you want support, go look for it. Go look for support with your doctors, your family, your friends. If you know a family member who's got it, ask them. If they, well, obviously de-stress now with the summer holidays for kids and stuff, and everything, but things still can be stressful for over the summer holidays. What am I going to wear? Have I got a bikini body? You know, that type of thing. I certainly do not have a bikini body, right? But I'll still go out in a bikini. Little scars for you there. But doesn't matter who you are, as long as you're you. As long as you're true to yourself and you're who you want to be. Sometimes I'm a completely different person to this person that's talking to you. Some days I'm like, you know what? No. Today's just not my day. And then other days I'm like, yeah, let's get a video done. Let's do this. Let's go out. Let's go for a walk. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. It happens, guys. But at the same time, there's support there. Message, comment, share, like, everything. Subscribe, because I think my YouTube channel is linked to here. So this video is also going to go on my YouTube. Then I will do a touch-up video on Instagram. So, guys, I love you. Alright, so much. See, big heart. I love you all, and I hope, like, share my, like, if you know someone that's struggling, bring them to me. Get them to like my wall, get them to message me, and I will try my best to help. So, love you guys. See you later.